Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and what I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Willis on 3rd down. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On the jump.
Fourth down, Willis. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Here's a 3rd-year man from Utah, Zach Moss. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 24, Goff. They'll run the screen with Moss. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1. A lot more to go. They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Gone.
Early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. Moss. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football. But on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
So taking a risk here early in the new year, they're going to go for it. They're going to run for it. It's Moss. And this time he is in. Zach Moss taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, it's Willis. And this is going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Hunter Nicewander on a punt now on 4th down. Taken from just outside the 30. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in Week 1. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On second down, here's a run with Moss. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Goff now looking to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be fourth down. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here to add to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11th. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's go now.
First and 10, Willis. And that is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, it's Willis. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. They go play action with Willis. He's going to look deep for more. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So now they operate back from their side of the field here, 2nd and long. Now gone. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. And that's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2. Next contact! Ready!
Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Willis from the gun on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll look to Willis to pass it here. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
A first down carry here for Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. Willis on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points in the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Prater's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try to plan a comeback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw here into the hands of Moore. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd down, Willis looks to throw here. Back to the same target, Campbell. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
First down.
Ready?
Now Willis on 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in his first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
Right back to the air again with Willis. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. Prater's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Value three.
A run by Moss to start the third quarter. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To throw is gone. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Odafe-Oweh. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Check pass. Hey, check.
1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Willis will look to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Here's Goff. To the right side, and he's got more complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Maverick! Chris Blair!
3rd down. Here's a run by Moss. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. They find some open field here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. It certainly worked, but that was a gutsy call to go for it on 4th and short.
Yeah, not sure I would have made that call, but give them a ton of credit for deciding to go for it, and not only doing it, but doing it in fine fashion. Takes me back to this summer when we were touring camps. Remember we watched them practice, and they worked hard in these situations, and they blocked it up perfectly.
Defensively, they were so worried about the line of scrimmage. Once he got past that first wave of tacklers, goodbye. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Special teams, that's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Willis to try again after the pick 6. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 23 yards on the play.
We all knew how talented an athlete Malik Willis was coming out of Liberty, but lost in his running ability was simply how powerful an arm he has as well. There's not a throw in the playbook he doesn't have the strength to make, and it's all about how well he can place those throws. Between that arm and his legs, his ceiling, easily one of the top ones in the league.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Willis. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Willis on 3rd down. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's going to have a Packers first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs, and Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day one.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs. They have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Ready, go.
Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
18 rounds.
To throw, here's Willis. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Malik Willis with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little. Give up a touchdown.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again here with Moss. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. On the option, they'll hand it to Moss. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Goff now looks to throw. They'll run the screen with Moss. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Moss on the give up the middle. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now a toss here. Moss running to the left. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
A 48-yard attempt.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain an 18-point lead. Well, they can probably... It's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Meanwhile, Willis' throw caught by Tony. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So that a nice throw, but it hasn't really turned out to be the grand debut that many had hoped for. His team's down double digits. So what have you seen, CD?
About what I expected, really, because for a youngster making his first start in the NFL, I kind of expected to see these things. A few bumps along the way, maybe not the plays you expect to see or want to see. But remember, he's not going to the Hall of Fame off this first start. It's going to be an accumulation of games before we have a fully accurate reading.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Willis completing it to the right side. Johnson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
I give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, show them a shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Touchdown, Packers! Elijah Moore, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point good by Prater, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit.
31. Packers 20. Matt Prater is set to kick off.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Matt Prater set to kick off.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
We're good. We're good.
Right back to Moss. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The Vikings on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Goff. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. That'll give them 8 that time. And it'll be 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Willis to throw. Connecting with Hill. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Now Willis. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Folks, remember this, his first NFL game, a rookie getting playing time here in Week 1, and he comes through with a giant play there, an interception return for, obviously, his first NFL touchdown.
Do you think he dreamed that last night at all? No chance. Not one whatsoever, but he got it done.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. On 1st down, Willis. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
He's going to let it fly. Yeah, he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Third down, it's Willis. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Willis. Here's Tony on the quick slant. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. It's a play fake. Here's Willis. Finding more on the out route for the completion. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one goes for 24 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown.
Kadarius Toney.
A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Packers get a bit closer.
Prater for the extra point. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. Wait, hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. It happened in the NFL. The miracle in the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
On the handoff, running left, Moss. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week